Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to walk you through how to use Journal from end to end, from setting up. You can see I've just paid for my account. I've signed up, so I'm going to take it through just from start to finish, like a user, just like you. Hopefully this, or you know what it's like with lives, you never quite know how it's going to work out, but I'm sure this will be absolutely fine. So, right, I have just signed up. If you go to bookkeepersmarketing.com, you can sign up. You'll be asked for your card details, but you will get a 14-day free trial, and it will tell you, just like it does here, when your payment will be taken. And then once you've signed up, you are in and you are on your dashboard. Now, at any time, you can always go back to the dashboard, because these 5 steps, there's a sort of start here, and then there are 4 onboarding steps to follow. This will take you through everything you need to do to use Journal. And when you know these principles, you are good to go. But I wanted to start by talking to you about why this is important and why Six Figure Bookkeeper have spent time building something like this, a tool like this. In 2018, I won the ICB's Social Media Influencer of the Year award. And I think that at that time, showing up on social media was kind of a new, unexpected thing for a bookkeeper to be doing. And I think I was just showing up as sort of myself. And I think over the years, what I've learned is the more time you spend perfecting social media, first of all, the better you get at it. And there are going to be cringe moments, I'm going to say that. But it's about volume and consistency, just in terms of showing up, that is the most important thing that you can be doing. And as bookkeepers, we often have this challenge whereby we don't see ourselves as creative people and we don't know where to start with marketing. Now, I think there are 2 strands of social media marketing that we need to all be spending time doing. Why do we need to spend time doing that? Because if you're not showing up online, your competitors are showing up online and your prospects are seeing your competitors. So that's really, like, you've got to be there. You've got to be in the game. Social media is free. If we rewind 10, 20 years, there wasn't an option like this to get in front of so many hundreds or thousands of people for free. So it's something we have to be doing. And I've almost said there, it's like a game we have to be playing, because I see social media very much as a game. It is about stats and numbers and testing and seeing what works. Now, there are 2 strands of social media that I believe are very, very important, and Journal can help you with both of those. Number 1, personal brand content. As an individual running your business, it is important for your prospects to know who you are and to see you as a credible expert who can solve their problems. When they get to know you and they know you they don't need to know everything about your life story or everything that is going on in your life, but when they feel like there's something that gives them a connection, maybe through a hobby or a community or a network, and they just see that little insight into you, there's a level of trust that's built that goes way beyond any kind of logo or brand name. So we need to be in the routine of creating content where we are showing up as ourselves. So this is the stuff that Joe Wood, my business partner at Six Figure Bookkeeper, Joe and I have spent years talking about. Post a photo, write something about what's going on for you, relate it to business, include a call to action, and tell people to buy something or book a call with you. That's really, really crucial. You can do this on Journal. But the other thing that's important to do, and often gets neglected because we spend so much time thinking, I need to do this personal brand stuff, I need to do this personal brand stuff, is we forget that we also need to show up as our businesses. Because when people see you as a personal brand, when they see you as an individual, that personal brand will live on forever. So, this is like you curating what the world knows about you. And whatever you choose to sell in the future, whether that's bookkeeping or accounting services or something else, people will have built that level of trust with you. That's why I can be here. 17 of you are live right now. I can be here because you know me from what I've done in Six Figure Bookkeeper, or maybe what I've done in a bookkeeping business in the past. So it doesn't necessarily matter, as long as I have the credibility and the expertise. And I talk about social media and AI all the time, so hopefully I have that. As long as I have the credibility and the expertise, if I show up to you with a new product or a new business brand to sell, you're going to listen. I'm not starting from zero with no audience. So personal brand, really crucial part of the work. But because we spend time trying to perfect that, because that's what the gurus are telling us we need to do, and I agree, we do need to do it, what we don't always have time for is the professional, credible content that we want our business to be putting out. And I recently was involved in judging some accounting, the Accounting Excellence Awards. It's one of the big awards in the UK. And I was the head judge for the marketing category. And I was reviewing the entries, and there were some brilliant entries in there. There were two, though, that were like chalk and cheese, both brilliant, but both absolutely brilliant. In fact, everyone that I saw could have won that award, but both with very different budgets available to them and with different approaches to marketing. So both, we're going to talk about social media here. One entry was, he knew he had a low budget, very small budget, and he thought, what can I do? So what he started to do was film videos of himself showing up in places his clients might expect to see him, talking to them on their level about things they were interested in. He was showing he was an expert, showing up as himself, using his own tone of voice, speaking in the way he wanted to speak, and speaking to a specific audience that needed to hear from him. And he was really able to create this amazing interaction and trust and build his business off the back of that. Low budget. And what I loved about it was that anybody could do that. The problem is that everybody doesn't have that creative ability to go, oh, I know, I'm going to go and put myself in this situation and create it. And that's why we know we need journal. On the other end of it, there was a large accountancy practice who had a large budget, a large marketing team, and they invested in bringing in an external agency to do a massive brand overhaul. They wanted to modernize. They wanted to make sure their customers, they were speaking to the right customers about the things the customers cared about. They did these brilliant user interviews. They had this amazing pack of all the work and research and everything that they'd done. It was corporate. And they were able to do that. Also a brilliant outcome, but they were able to do that because they had the budget. And we don't often, if you're watching this, you probably don't have the budget to spend. So you might not have the budget or not have the creativity. And because of that, and you're spending your time thinking, I need to put some personal brand content out there, you are neglecting your business page. If you're in the Bookkeepers Collective, which is something we do through the Six Figure Bookkeeper, you have access to our content subscription where we give you content every month, just a tweak, but still it doesn't get used. I don't see as much of it as I think I'd like to see people using it, and I think that's because it maybe isn't written in your tone of voice. It isn't speaking to your ideal client. It's quite a lot of effort to go in and tweak that. And maybe you haven't got the time. So Joe and I thought, what can we do? What solution can we give you to be able to create this brilliant professional looking content? Looks like it's been designed by a designer, looks like it's been written by a copywriter, looks like you've got a PR agency involved in your business as well. Well, then we had the opportunity to partner with the software developers who built what we've built Journal on and give this to you. So we've piled bookkeeping content into this, and I can't wait to show you, because what this is going to do is give you a really exciting professional set of social media content that you can use forevermore. We're going to be adding to it as well, but you'll already see there's hundreds of prompts in there, and the results you get are always going to be tailored to you because it uses your own brand voice and it speaks to your own ideal client, and it uses your style, your colors, your fonts, your template. So it's going to look different. It's going to look like yours. It's even going to have your logo on it and your website on it and everything. And you're not going to have to sit in Canva and work out how to make it. So you're going to have this nice I think it's the consistency. We can all go onto Canva and make pretty images, but they're probably not consistent, and that it feels frustrating for you. So we wanted to solve that. So I'm excited. I'm going to dive in. If you have a question, please put it in the comments, because I can see the comments here from YouTube, and I've got a list of things that I want to work through just to show you sort of end to end how I would set this up and use it. And my goal from this video is to set Journal up and to create 2 weeks of social media content for 3 platforms. That's the plan, and you can do this live with me. So the starting point is for you to log into Journal. So you do that by going to bookkeepersmarketing.com. signing in. When you signed up, you should have received an email. It's a little bit manual at our end just yet, but you should have received an email just confirming this is your email to log in. This is how to reset your password. But if you go to bookkeepersmarketing.com, you can always reset your password. And you need to start on the dashboard because that's where you've got your sort of get started walkthrough videos. There's just a few steps to follow. I'm going to take you through those. So what we need to do is connect your social media accounts. We need to add your branding so that everything you create looks like your business. We need to make the AI sound like you. And we're then going to go and make some content. That's all we need to do. Okay, so we've set up an account. And I'm going to use this for a fictional bookkeeping practice that I call grid bookkeeping. I've got a logo for it. And that's all I've got. I'm going to show you how to do it. Right. So we've logged in. Okay, I'm just going to go into my screen. So I can't, please comment if you've got any questions. I think you can see my dashboard. Right, where to find help at any time. The dashboard here on the left will always load these videos. If you forget, if you don't go in, I mean, I think this is the kind of thing you're going to set it up and you're going to go back to it every couple of weeks and just add some more posts in. So there is a risk that you'll go, oh, what do I do again? If you ever think, oh, what do I do again? Go to the dashboard and you will have already done the start here and the connect your accounts and add your logos and fonts. You won't have to do this again and the make it sound like you. All you'll need to do is the bit where you create some content. So just to say you've got like a quick start every time you come back to it. Lots of this is going to be done once and we're done. And by the way, it's 11:10. So if you want to test out whether you really can get this up and running in half an hour, you can time me. The other place that it's useful if you want to find resources in the future, just down the side here, I'll show you all of these as we go through. Dashboard we've seen. The queue is where we create social media from. The post that we're going to put out, we do it from the queue. The queue can either be populated by us going, I'm going to put a post out right now, or I've got an idea for something to write, or it can be populated because you've got a schedule that says, every week, I want to put 2 posts on Instagram and they're going to be about this and this. So the queue can be automatically populated with these ideas, or it can be populated by you creating a post and your job is to go in there and actually create and approve the post. You can also click on create post. So if at any time you're like, I just want to write something, you can either write that from scratch. So you might just, I don't know, have some interaction today with bad customer service and you want to write about it. So in which case you create from scratch. There are AI tools in there. So if you want to improve the tone or anything like that, you can do that as well. But you might just want to start with your own idea. Or you might use the AI writer and one of the templates that we've already got set up just to go, oh, I feel like I haven't posted anything for a while. I'm going to click on that and see what comes up. So you've got that option as well. There's a recurring schedule. We're going to look at this in a minute. This is set up with, it's basically a grid, right? There's 4 weeks, 7 days of content. And what we do in here is decide what content we want to go out on which platform on which days of the week. So we have some pre-built templates that you can use, or you can put your own in. You can just click add new and you can choose what you want to put out and when. So I'll show you how to do that as well. Then we've got some resources under labs. So labs is where we have all of the usable parts of journal, the sort of pre-made setup stuff. So we've got a content lab, which has got loads of content that we can use. There's some core content. There's also under journal. There's a bookkeeper specific content. So these are prompts like ready to go if you want to write about self-assessment or introduce yourself or write something seasonal about Christmas. You can do all of that. There's also lots of core content in here, which you can use to inspire you or, use this as the starting point for your prompt. Under labs, the other thing under labs, which I love, is the news part of it. So this is, what terrible things are in the news right now. If you want to news hack that and turn it into a social media post, you can take this story and you can get Journal to write something in your own words for your audience about it. There's also, you also have this sort of my content area. So if you have a post that you want to put out regularly, if you want to draft something that you can use over and over again, for example, a meet the team or me introducing myself or a client testimonial, because we don't want to just use those once. We want to use those like every month or so. We want to roll out those testimonials. So if you want to set up a drafted testimonial, you can do this here and it will live on and you can just keep using it over and over again. I love that. You've also got an AI beta tool, which we can use to create a persona. I'm not going to use that today. This is like next level. We don't need that. So we'll come back to that. I've just realized I've forgotten to show you the other two things in labs. So the other things in labs are under schedule lab. We've got some pre-made schedules for how we want to post. So it's like, what's your goal? What platform are you posting on? So we'll use those in a minute. And the other thing under labs is our AI beta, which I've just said we're not going to come to that because we're going to put our own AI settings in, and we'll come across this persona part in a moment as well. Okay, everyone's still with me? Yes, Kathy, is there core content relating to business advisory as well as bookkeeping? Yes, there is. Some of the content is about why you need a bookkeeper. Some of it's about, here are some mistakes that people often make with their bookkeeping. Some of it's about, you need to think about cash flow forecasting, here's why. Some of it's about business mindset. Some of it's about the future of bookkeeping. So about things like what's AI going to do? Will you need a bookkeeper in the future? That kind of thing. So yeah, you'll see this as we're going through. Okay, what do I need to do next? So if you need to find help, the other thing I wanted to show you, the other thing you need to see is the resource lab. If you are stuck and you want to go back through those 5 videos and any other videos, I'm going to put other videos in here. So these are the 5, the welcome and the 1, 2, 3, 4 videos at the start. Lesson 4, scheduling content. This is the key bit. If you come back and you're like, I'm stuck, that's just another way to show you what's on the dashboard. So, but there will be other resources with other things like news hacking, how to do the news hacking bit, that kind of thing. I've got to stop waffling. I've got to move on. Okay, so we've spoken about the schedule. So the schedule is where you're going to post, what you're going to post about and how often you're going to post about. The content is where you design and schedule the content or post in the moment. And then the news hacking is where you can create expert credibility posts. So I need to show you those things. But first, we've got to get it set up. So let's do that. We're going to go into the settings cog on the left-hand side. And I just need to make my screen a bit wider because I've got my notes on the screen as well. So we're going to go into settings. And then what I'd like you to do is go into platforms. Now, the platforms, this is where you're going to connect it to your social media accounts. So what we're going to do, we've got lots of places we can connect to. We can connect to LinkedIn. So this will connect your personal LinkedIn profile. And then we can connect to a LinkedIn page as well, business page. Then we can connect to Facebook and Instagram, and we do this by logging into our Meta account, Meta business account. They should be linked, your Facebook and Instagram accounts. The Instagram has to be a business account. It says Canva. Canva isn't available yet. I believe this will be coming soon. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, so we'll keep you posted when that becomes available. But you'll have 4 connections here. So I'm going to log into LinkedIn, and the way to do that is click on Connect Profile. And then it will say to you, log into your LinkedIn account. So what I need to do here is put my login details in. Just going to go and find my password. Just wondering if you can't see the little window. A little window popped up that says, welcome back. Put your email or phone number in and your password. And then I click sign in. And I've got the password wrong, which is really standard, isn't it, when you're doing something on a live? Let me try that again. Oh dear, no, I have not got the right password. Brilliant news. I can't log into my LinkedIn account right now. So I'm not going to log in. But what will happen is I need it on there, don't I? You should be able to connect to your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to have to try again. Bear with me just 1 second while I go in and do that now. Okay. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to share something else with you. Okay. So I've gone in and connected my LinkedIn account, and what it asked me to do then was to choose which business page I wanted to connect to. And I chose if you were running a bookkeeping practice, you would choose your bookkeeping practice and connect that. And then that will pull that page through. You'll have to click OK a couple of times, and then you'll be connected up. When you've got your LinkedIn account, and just to say as well, and we explain this in the welcome videos, it will ask you if you are happy to connect LinkedIn to Sysoma Connect. Sysoma Connect is the software that Journal has been built on. So you're just connecting the software into your LinkedIn account so that you can post from Journal straight through onto social media. And I think that Journal replaces a scheduling tool. So in our business, we've used Social Pilot for years to post to various places. I'm excited to see which other connections we can have in the future, because I think there are other places we do as a business need to post to for what we do. I like to think for Six Figure Bookkeeper, we'd like to see like TikTok on here, for example. I don't know when that's coming. So what we're going to do right now is focus on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, because those are all connections that are available. So connect up your LinkedIn. We'll obviously keep you informed when any other platforms are added. What we're going to do next is go into Facebook. Same process. You need to click to connect. It will connect your business account. It will bring up a list of different accounts you're logged. It will ask you for your login details. It will bring up a list of accounts that you might be logged into, or different business pages you've got. If you've got more than one, you need to choose the appropriate one, select it, say yes, you're happy to connect with Sysoma Connect, and then it will pull that through into Journal and you'll be able to see the page there. And then if you go onto the Instagram tab, it should have already linked. It might just say to you, which business account do you want to connect to? So then you have completed connecting your accounts. Okay. Next step, I need to share my other screen because I'm going to do this in, I set up a new account particularly to show you this, and I needed to just show you my connections. So 1 second. All right, let's share this again. So now we've got our all of our accounts connected. What we're going to do next is go into the design lab, because what we want to do now is make the social media look like your business. So we go into design lab, and you've got lots of different things that you need to do here. Now, as I've said before, Journal gives you a set of templates which you can use as the sort of images to go alongside your social media posts. It's a collection of images that are all complementary. They work together. So if you're putting a post out one day and you put a post out the next day, it's not going to look like, oh, that's weird, they've completely changed the design. It's all in the same set. There's an insight post, a team post, a miscellaneous post, a testimonial post, a quote post. And what we need to do is make these look like yours, because I imagine this isn't what your brand looks like right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a logo. So when you're on this logo tab here, you click select image, and then you can go into your files and you can choose your logo. Now your logo needs to be a 500 by 200 pixel file. So make sure that it is the right size. And I think it needs to be a PNG file. So you need to make sure that you've got a PNG. Okay, so I'll upload that one. So I'm putting in my grid bookkeeping logo, which you can see at the moment. Now this is on a a cream background. I've just realized that it's on a cream background and I probably need to put one on. Bear with me, I'm just going to put one in without a background. Please upload a logo that doesn't have a background connected to it. That would be great. 1 second, and I will find that for you now. I love how challenging it is when it's real life to do this kind of stuff in real time. Right. We're going to end up with a different logo now, which is blue. So I'm just going to upload that one. Select. Okay, PNG, 200 by 500, clear background. And if you've got Canva, you can do that, or if you've got a designer, you can ask your designer to help you with that as well. Kathy, you've got this circling round and round. You're connecting your LinkedIn account. Can you refresh your window and see if that fixes it? If you just refresh in the toolbar. Okay, so I've got my logo added in there now. What I can do next, and I would always, we've got lots of options here where we can say I want the logo to be coloured, or I want it to be black, or I want it to be white, depending on the background. But what I always think is best is actually to get this looking like your style at the moment before we move on. So if you go into colours, here there are a number of different colour sets that have been set up so that the logos can be customised on your particular colours. So you can either choose something that looks like your business, or if you have custom colors, you can just choose your own. So I find for me, when I've done this, and I've done this for a few different brands now, the easiest way to do it is to choose the color set that looks the closest to my business, and then to click on choose your own, because it puts those colors in and you can see what you're changing as you change it. So if actually I decide that I want to have I don't know, some kind of like bright pink or something in here, then I can change the hex code. And if you use Canva and you've got a brand template already, you can do that. Or you can click on the little button and you can choose the color. So you've got lots of options. You probably know the colors in your branding. I'm going to go with something like, let's choose a turquoisey one. I'll choose this one and I'll work with this. So get your colors in there. Then when you've done that, what we're going to do is the style, the shapes and things like that that we can see on the screen. What we want to do next is make it look like our business and what we would expect to put out. So if you go over to design sets, you've got lots of different design sets here, which you can choose whichever one you want based on how you want your graphics to appear. So we've got this kind of blobs or blocks or bubble. I did this bubble one when I was demonstrating this, when I did the training videos for Hey Monica, our other software company. We've been using this sort of cartoon UI because that's in fitting with our sort of, we have a little mascot. So it fits in better with that kind of style, but you'll have your own idea of what's right. And you can change this anytime. So you just go back to settings, design lab, design sets. I'd suggest that you just choose something so that you've got something to work with. I'm going to go with this angles one, and then I can click through the different images and I can see what that's going to look like on these different templates. And do you remember where I said we might want to change the color of the logo? Because I don't like the blue on the turquoise, I'm going to go back to logo there, and on the on the testimonial post, I'm going to change it so I've got a white logo on that turquoise background. It just looks better. I noticed that on one of the others as well, the miscellaneous one. I'm going to make that white. It's fine on the team one. It's fine on the insight. Brilliant, that looks better. So I'm gonna keep it like that. That's better for me. So logo uploaded, colors chosen, design set chosen. If you want to go and tweak how your logo looks on any of those backgrounds, you can do that as well. And what we can change now as well is our fonts. So we've got different font sets in here. So you can choose one that works for you. And if you want to choose your own font, if you decide that actually that isn't covering what I need, and you know that there is a particular font you always use when you're writing text on if you were doing this on Canva before, you can just click on choose your own, and you can say, well, actually for the body text, I want to use courgette or something like that. Maybe I want to change it so it always looks like that. So you get to choose what it is. And then when you're happy with the design, you can click Save Changes. And this means that any post that you create in the future, when you're adding an image to it and you're saying, I want an insight image or I want a team image or whatever, it will put it in like this. I'm just going to check for any questions. Okay, nothing at the moment. Great. Right, I'm going to carry on. So that's how to set the design up. Next, business information. I would like for your images to have your business website on them, because if you do that, people know how to connect with you and take their next step. So it's really important to put your business website on there. So if you click in if you stay in Design Lab and click on business info, you can put your website in here. So my fictitious bookkeeping practice, gridbookkeeping.io. So what you can see now is down at the bottom, it's put that website in there at the bottom. Okay. Save changes. Brilliant. So that means it's all on brand. They're all going to be consistent. That is a big help and a big win. We don't have to spend time anymore thinking about this in Canva. Okay, now what we're going to do is go and set up our AI settings, because we want to be able to write in our own tone and we want to speak to clients in a particular sector who have particular pain points. So we've done what things look like, the imagery. Now what we're going to do is do the writing part of it, the copywriting. So let's do that. What we need to do right now is we're still in our settings menu. We're going to go to AI settings. Remember, we're only doing this once and then we've done it. So if it feels like there's a lot, don't worry. And these are your general details about your business. You can add that in. This doesn't get, oh no, it does get used. We do need to put in some additional business information. So we can put our name in, our content language. I'm going to use British English, the name of the company, Grid Bookkeeping, the industry, bookkeeping, my job role. I'm going to say bookkeeper. I want to say director or something, but really I want to think about who I'm speaking as. When I'm creating this content, who am I showing up as? Well, I'm showing up as a bookkeeper. What's my location? What's my call to action? What do I want people to do next? And this will come up sometimes in your prompts, in your social media posts, in the writing. So if you'd like to find out more about how I can help you with your bookkeeping, book a free consultation at gridbookkeeping.io. I'm going to say actually how we can help you, because right now we're trying to build this larger, credible expert brand. So I'm going to say we. Then we put in some additional business information. So this is like who we are, what we do, who we help, just the stuff you feel like the AI needs to know this about me so that it can really understand what I do. So I'm going to say we provide an expert bookkeeping service, monthly bookkeeping service. We use Xero and Dext with all of our clients to automate data capture and save our clients time. Just thinking right now, what do I do as a bookkeeper? We provide advisory services that help our clients make better decisions. And what else do we do? I might just say what that means, e.g. cash flow forecasting and budgeting. We understand what it means to run a business. What else might I want to say? We're a small team. What else do we do? Maybe there's a particular type of industry we work with. So I'm going to talk about that. We support creative industry businesses, particularly service providers. like marketing agencies, marketing creative agencies who want better understanding of their finances. There we go. Right, so I'm going to save the changes. So you can tweak this at any time. You can go back to this at any time. What we're going to do now is go into quick create. So we have an option in Journal. I love this. That when you get the schedule made, which we'll show you in a minute, you can quick create a social media post. You can say, I want a post that looks like this, and you click it and it writes it, and you've told it once what you want it to do. So the length of that post, medium works quite well in my experience. Like for me, the kind of things I want to write, medium looks good. Long is good. They're all good. But in terms of how I would like my quick, if I'm creating a post just quickly, how long do I want that post to be? Generally 80 to 100 words is good for me. Tone of voice, how do I want to show up? You can choose more than one of these. So I'm going to say professional, but I'm also going to say empathetic. What do I want to include in my post? I want to include a call to action. I want to make sure that we tell people what to do next. I might want to include a list. I love a list. I want to exclude emojis. Personally, I don't like emojis too much. And how do I want to format it? So these are all copywriting frameworks. I've played around with these, and they're all really good, to be honest with you. And you can choose which copywriting framework you want to use on each individual post. But the ones I found really good, problem, agitate, solution has worked really well. And I'm going to also put in the 4 C's as well. AIDA is good as well. I'll put the 3 of them in. Let's see what happens. And then I'm going to save my changes. So I've got my quick create set up. If I'm clicking quick create, how do I want that post to be written? Then we have tones of voice. We're getting the wording here changed. This is how you speak. So you can use one of these suggested tones of voice if you want. If you're one of these, light-hearted, humorous, supportive, empathetic, whatever, you can do this. I'm going to stick with friendly expert. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to show you a quick hack. I've realized how tight on time I am. I'm going to click create. And what I really love about this is that if you've already written some content, you can, like a website, if you've already got a website up, you can ask Journal what your tone of voice is, which I just think is brilliant. So you can click, I'm just going to check you can see what I can see. Yeah. So you can click on generate a tone of voice from a website, and then you can type in your website. So this is our website. And then I'm going to click next, and it will analyze the text on our website. Whoa. And then it will tell me what the tone of voice is. Supportive, empowering, a supportive and empowering tone aiming to inspire and equip bookkeepers. Obviously, in this instance, as grid bookkeeping, I'm not empowering bookkeepers. I want to inspire small business owners to take control of their finances. So tweak this how you want it. The language is encouraging, focusing on personal growth and understanding your numbers. Tone is warm and approachable. Obviously, we don't need to talk about a sense of community, but showing expertise. Grid bookkeeping has a supportive and empowering tone, showing expertise and as an expert bookkeeper or creative businesses. There we go. I think I could have done better there, but we've got that set up. And what we can do if we're happy with it, I can just click on default, and that makes that my default voice. I can speak in different tones of voice if I want to. I'm going to stick with that supportive and empowering until I see what the content looks like, and I might choose to tweak it in the future. Then what I need to do is set up a persona. This is who I'm speaking to. So when I'm speaking to my ideal client who is reading my content, who are they? Now, you can put a website in for an ideal client. What I found at the moment is that the AI isn't quite right. So I wouldn't recommend using this. What I would recommend is if you have an AI persona, an ideal client persona already written up, because you've thought about who are they, what are their pain points, etc. I would suggest that you write it in manually. So I'm going to do this very quickly now. So I'm going to say creative agency owner. I'm going to say female, 30 to 45 years old, parent, small limited company, around 500k turnover, 3 to 5 staff, stressed, overwhelmed, too busy, systems don't work together, credit control problems, wants to feel financially secure and successful and make plans for the future. Something like that. You could spend some time having a chat with ChatGPT and saying, tell me about my ideal client. What pain points do they have? What do you know about their business? That kind of thing. Tell me about their persona, like drives a Volkswagen Golf. It might, it might even be stuff like that, but type in your persona summary and then save the changes. So I'm going to use that as my default. Did I tick the default box? No, default. That's my default persona that I'm speaking to. Final bit in AI settings, banned words and phrases. I love this. You can add words in here that you don't want the AI to use. So I don't like the word navigate. I'm really pleased to say it's already on the list. So, the other thing I don't like is when AI says, it's not just about this, it's about this. There's something about the way that that is written that just says AI to me. So I'm just going to say, it's not just about blah, blah, blah. I don't know how exactly to phrase that, but when you see more of them, you'll be like, oh, I hate it when it does that. And then you can go and add those banned words or phrases in there as well. Anything else? There's something about, I don't like the word thrive. Thrive always comes up. I'm going to just take thrive out. So I've got my banned words in there. Maybe in the comments, share with me, what are your favorite words that we should be banning from AI? Okay, so we got our AI set up. What we're going to do now is set up a schedule for our posting. So what we're going to do now is, do you remember we had on the left-hand side, you've got this little calendar icon. This is your repeating calendar of content that you're going to put out. Now, I can go in and say, I want to always put in a post. I haven't got my connection set up. I'm just going to go into, this is the problem with not having your social media. You need to connect your social media accounts. It's your number one job. I'm just going to go into the account I'm already using to show you. I think that'll be okay. Share my screen. Okie doke. So we've got this recurring schedule. I'm going to clear mine. It's blank. So it says, so what we can do is we can go every Monday, I want to share an introduction to me, or I don't know, what should we do? Yeah, every Monday, I want to put a post out where I'm introducing myself. So I'm going to go add new, publish to, where do I want to publish it? I want to put it on my LinkedIn page, my Facebook page, my Instagram account. And then I get to choose what kind of content am I sharing. So I'm going to share an introduction. You can have a little scroll and decide what you want to put in there. I'm going to put an introduction in. I want it to always go out on a Monday. So I choose the days of the week. I could have more than one day if I want to. I'm just going to have it on a Monday. I want it to go every single week. So I'm just going to choose all of the weeks. I want it to go out at 9 a.m. or I can just choose from the suggested times down there. And then I just click add post. And that says in my schedule, and you'll see this in my queue, that every Monday I'm going to now put an introductions post out. But I might not really be inspired to go, oh, on Tuesday, I'm going to do this, and Wednesday, I'm going to do this. You might just want someone to say, this is what you're going to do forevermore, because sometimes that feels really helpful. So if you want to put into this schedule something we've already created as a schedule, go to labs, go to schedules lab, and then we've got these different schedules set up. So under journal, I've got Instagram. So there are 3 levels. There's a light, like this LinkedIn personal, which is 12 posts over 4 weeks. So it's two posts oh no, hang on, it's 3 posts a week. We've got a sort of regular schedule, which is 3 or 4 posts a week. And then we've got a bold schedule, which is 5 posts a week. So let's put the light ones in. I'm going to put in, let's leave your personal brand account right now. We're going to look at the business pages. So I'm going to choose the Facebook business light. I'm looking for Instagram light. So that's 8 posts. So that means I'm going to post every Tuesday and every Saturday. So yeah, I'll use that schedule. And I'm going to merge it with my existing schedule. You remember I've already put in a Monday post. So I'm just going to merge it. So now when I go to my calendar, I've got my introductions post going out. And on Instagram at 7 a.m, I've got those posts going out as well. But I also would like to put some stuff on my LinkedIn page and on my Facebook page. So I'm just going to go back to labs and schedule lab, where I choose my schedule. And I'm going to find a light Facebook business page one, 8 posts. So it looks like it's doing Monday, Tuesday, and it's doing Friday, Thursday. So I'm going to use that schedule. If I'm happy, I'm going to merge it with the schedule I've already got. Go back to my schedule. And now you can see I've got those Facebook ones going in. So that means I actually do a couple of posts on Facebook on a Monday now, a couple of times a week. And then I just want to put a LinkedIn one in as well. So I'm just going to go back to Schedules Lab. And I'm looking for my LinkedIn Light Business. LinkedIn Business Light. Here we go. 8 posts. So week 1, Tuesday, Thursday. Week 2, Tuesday, Thursday. Can you see that the topic of the post is different every time? Sometimes it's a tip. Sometimes it's about show, don't sell, help your audience. Just going to use that schedule. I'm going to merge the schedules. And then this is what I'm going to work with right now. This is my final schedule that I've got going out. Now I might look at this and go, oh, there's nothing going out on a Wednesday. Maybe I'll move that introductions one. So I'm going to click on introductions and I'm going to change it so it's not on Mondays. I'm going to put it on Wednesdays instead. I just did that by clicking Wednesday and unclicking Monday and update, and it's just going to pop that in there instead. So I just feel like that's fine. So that's my schedule. This is my recurring schedule over the course of 4 weeks. These are the posts that are going to go out over and over and over again. It will just keep repeating. Okay, schedule is set up. Brilliant. I want to show you now. Now we're going to start creating the content. So am I over time? I am over time, but I have done a lot of chatting. So it has taken about half an hour to get this set up. This is ready to go now. All we're going to do now is create the content, which is great. I want to show you where the content comes from. So if you go into labs and if you go into content lab, you can see it takes you to this featured content place. So we try and put anything new that we've been adding. You'll see it up at the top. In fact, you can see when we created it. This was written, it's the 22nd of June right now. This one was created on the 20th of June. So we're always adding new prompts to this. But what you'll find is, if you click on journal on the left, we've got a number of different categories here. So within expertise, we've got posts about, it's not just about data entry or the costs of falling behind, or are you saving for tax all year round? So all of those posts are in there. There are pages and pages of them. We've got some about self-assessment and making tax digital. We've got a few introductions posts as well, telling people about who you are and why you do it. We've got some seasonal summer posts. We've got some Christmas and winter posts. And then under business categories, we've got some business mindset posts, because you are, I always think as a bookkeeper, really, you're kind of coaching your clients to be better at their finances and care more, because it's going to help them achieve the greater goal. And then we've also got some business of the future post, which is about AI, how the future of bookkeeping is going to look, what that means in terms of their relationship with the bookkeeper and what they're going to need to do for their finances. So we'll keep adding to this over time. And if we feel like we need to break the categories down as well into more layers, then we'll do that as well. So that's where it's coming from. Like I've said before, you can also create your own testimonial posts and team member posts. So we had a testimonial here from Emma, and we took this testimonial, we put it on a card, and that meant that then this is going to live here forevermore. So if I decide I want to put a testimonial out every Wednesday, I could just choose one of these to go out again and again. So that means I can build up this bank. Every time someone leaves us some great feedback, I can capture it all here and I can post it out, which feels really good. Okay, I've just realized because I'm showing you in this account, not in the lovely grid bookkeeping account that I made, I can't, I'm going to be using Six Figure Bookkeeper branding, I'm afraid. I hope that's okay. You can't create your own ideas in the categories, but you will be taking the idea. You'll see this in a moment when we go into the queue. You can either put into the okay, let's see. Right, Kathy wants to see how can she create her own ideas in the categories. I suppose what you could do is you could have in your schedule let's go into the schedule. In the schedule, you might think every Saturday, I don't want to have this post that's a quote, or I'm happy to, you could delete that, or you could say, add new. Every Saturday, I want to also put on my Instagram account something about expertise. And let's put that out at 4 p.m. And when I see that post come up in a minute, what we'll do is we'll customize what goes in there. So if you're like, no, that content doesn't sound like me, or that isn't the topic I want to talk about, you can actually change it and you can talk about something else. So when we see the expertise one, I'll have a look at that. Okay, so we've got a schedule set up, and this is going to define what goes in the queue for us to use AI to create. So now I go to the queue. This is where we start. This is like your process forevermore for like every time you're thinking about my content for next week, this is where it lives. This is what you do. So tomorrow, I've got in my queue a post to be the expert. So it's dropped, it said, do you remember on the schedule? It said, so it's Monday tomorrow. I wonder what week it thinks it is. It's Monday tomorrow. Simple tips to help my audience. I wonder where it's got be the expert from. I'm confused. Okay, so anyway, it's saying tomorrow I need to put a post out about being the expert. So it's suggested this particular post idea. What's one common misunderstanding that leads people down the wrong path? Now, I might think, great, that's fine, let's create something about that. Or I might think, oh, I don't know about that post idea, if that's the kind of thing I really want to write about. And if I'm not sure about that prompt it's given me, I can click change post idea. And instead, I can choose a different idea. So if I'd rather write about something else for tomorrow, I can choose something else instead. So that's up to you. So maybe I want to write about what's one thing people think they're doing well until you show them a better way. Let's use that instead. And then I can click on quick create, or I could just click quick create from here if I'm happy with that idea. Here we go. So that was the one I said, wasn't it? I'm going to click on quick create. And do you remember we set up those rules that said to AI, when I click quick create, I want you to write me a medium length post. I want you to use one of these copywriting frameworks. We told it all of those rules, didn't we? It's going to keep all of that in mind, and it's going to write me a caption. Many bookkeepers, this is because I'm writing for bookkeepers. Many business owners, it will probably say, think they're doing right until they see what's possible. And then it will write me a caption. And what I need to do is go in and tweak it so that I'm writing it. If I'm like, oh, that isn't quite how I would say that, I'm just changing it. But if I'm happy with the words, what I do then is I click on content type and I choose an image. Now, you could just put a photo of yourself. If you want to put a photo of yourself alongside it, you go to media and you add an image. And you can upload an image from wherever you keep your images. I'm just having a little panic now that I don't know where my images are. There's a photo. So I'm just going to upload an image to go alongside that. I click done. It'll upload it. And I can see on the right-hand side, I've got a preview of what that post is going to look like. So it's just putting my photo in now. So it's like on Instagram, this is what it's going to look like. There's an image and then there's this post underneath it. And if I'm happy with that, I can approve it. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you how to make the images using the nice design set. Can you see that that's approved in the queue? It looks like, actually, do you know what, Kathy and everyone watching, I've actually already approved these. This is why I'm confused. So simple tips to help my audience is the next one. You see it's gone green when it's approved. That means it's done, it's good to go. And I can see at any time in my queue all of the ones that have been sort of approved and ready to go. So I'm going to go to the next one that says it's awaiting approval. So for this day, whichever day that is, the 24th, it's a simple tip, help my audience. That was what was in the schedule. And it's suggesting that I write about what's a small win you can help people get quickly just by showing them a better way to approach it. If I'm happy, I can click quick create, and then the AI rules I've set up will write the social media posts for me. And I can have a look at the caption. And if I'm happy with it, what I can do is I can either go to media and upload my own image, or because it's like we now have a nice design team, I can go into content type and I can choose whether I want to put an image alongside it. Now, this is a post about being in a trap, a cycle of undercharging. So I might want to put in a little insight. Are you trapped in a cycle of undercharging? So I can choose an insight post, which is in this instance going to give me this style. But I've also got, if I wanted to, a meet the team or a quote or a miscellaneous post. I'm going to choose this. Sorry, I'm going to go back up and I'm going to choose this insight. And I can change the image on it. And I can also change the wording on it. Do you see it's got my business website and it's got my logo on it though here? I'm going to go in and I'm going to change this image. So the way I do that, I go into media and I add image. So exactly the same as the way we've just done it. I can either upload my own photo by going to upload and choosing it from my computer drive, or I can use Pexels or Unsplash or Pixabay, which are free images, and I can choose something. So this was about undercharging, right? So I don't know what to put in. I'm just putting pricing in. Maybe I hate to use calculators. Maybe if my ideal client is like a hairdresser or something, maybe I have a picture of a hairdresser. I want them to pay attention. Who do I want to pay attention to this? I want a book. In this instance, I'm writing for bookkeepers, so I want a bookkeeper to pay attention. But think about your ideal client. What are they going to look at? Here we go. Let's use this lady. So I'm going to put her on my image. Now this wording isn't right. So what I'm going to do then to change the wording is I'm going to click design, and you see it says heading. I can change these words. Are you trapped in a cycle of undercharging? Read on. So I could do that. I could just write it in my own words. Or if I'm like, oh, I don't know how to word that, that doesn't feel very good, and maybe I could be better, I can click heading rewrite, and it will sound a bit AI-y, but I can also get AI to write it for me. Break free from undercharging and boost your worth. I don't like that. So I'm going to just use this. But if I was happy with that, or I wanted to tweak it a bit, or it gave me some inspiration, I could use that as well. So once I'm happy with that, all I have to do is click approve. So do you remember the caption was written for us. We just added our own, we chose our type of content we want to share. We added an image, and then we changed the wording on the image. The other thing I haven't mentioned is what you can do is go and put a comment, the first comment in. So you can go and do that as well if you want to. But if you don't, you're good. You can just approve. You can also, I believe, let's try it. Yes, you could also get this post to go to all of your platforms if you wanted to. So you could choose more platforms. If you're like, oh, that's really good, I'm going to put that out everywhere. You could put it on other platforms too. That's up to you. So that one's ready to go. So I promised you that we could get 2 weeks of content made. Now I've got about 10, I spent 10 minutes at the start chatting. I've got 10 minutes, I think, left of this little session. I'm going to go and see if I can get through to, where are we up to? Something like the 25th or something. See if I can get some content done up to about the 7th of July very quickly in the next 10 minutes. If you're watching along live, let me know in the chat how many pieces of content you've been able to create. What I'd really love to be able to do with this is do this on the Grid Bookkeeping account, but I think I might need to log in. I'm going to just go quiet for 5 minutes while I try and connect up the Grid Bookkeeping account, and then let's see if we can do that. Right, bear with me 1 second while I take this screen away. You can watch my brain thinking. Yeah. I'm just trying to log into my LinkedIn account. I've had all sorts of social media problems today. I've been banned from Facebook, which is why I now live here on YouTube. Verifying LinkedIn account. Yes. Okay, great. I'm going to show you what this looks like in case you were one of those people who was struggling a bit. Share screen. Okay, brilliant news. Great. Right. I'm in, I'm going to do this very quickly. So I'm in LinkedIn. I've just got to choose the page that I want to post to. So I'm going to select Six Figure Bookkeeper. I've connected my LinkedIn account, my Six Figure Bookkeeper. I don't think I can connect my Facebook just because, like I said, I've had my account removed today. I'm just appealing it at the moment. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a schedule very quickly. So do you remember I went into labs? I go to schedule lab. I choose a schedule for my LinkedIn business account. I don't want to cheat here because I remember I was doing like 8 posts. I'm going to just put in the regular LinkedIn business regular. Where is it? Here. That will put 14 posts in. I'm going to use the schedule, and this has put all of these posts into my recurring schedule. So now if I go to the queue, I can see that I have all of these posts to create as grid bookkeeping. So let's do it. Right, mistakes to avoid. So the suggestion is, what's a mistake you see people make before they come to you for your service? Let's quick create that. So this is probably the bit that takes the longest, to be honest with you. It's going to create that post. Organised finances are often overlooked. A client once shared they thought bookkeeping was about crunching numbers. Common pitfalls account include da 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 da. Okay, this is how we do things. So if I'm happy with that, I can add an image of my own, or I can choose a template. I'm going to choose an insight, and I'm going to add an image about I don't know, finances. And I'm going to click done. Avoid these common mistakes before seeking help. Avoid these common Are you making, I want it to be really hooky, right? Are you making any of these bookkeeping mistakes? And then I click. If I'm happy, approve. One done. Next one, common questions. What's one expectation you always reset in the first conversation with a new client? Interesting. Quick create. It's going to write me my post. Our personalised advisory sessions are a key part of what we do. Many see bookkeeping as just data entry, but we focus on cash flow budgeting and cash flow forecasting and budgeting. And Kathy was asking in the comments, can we talk about advisory, for example? And this is it. If you give that custom business information, yes, it's going to talk about the thing that you care about talking about. So I'm going to let's put this in as a miscellaneous post. This unexpected step. Yeah, this unexpected service could transform your client experience. So I'm going to go in. So I've changed that there. I don't think I'll use an exclamation mark, but I do want to change the image. It's probably about like having a chat or something, like coffee, or being in a cafe, two women talking. That looks like a very important interview, that one, doesn't it? Let's have that one. Okay, brilliant. And then if I'm happy, I approve that. And then I do the next one. Do you see how quick this is to do? I haven't shown you Advanced Create, but Advanced Create gives you the options to choose like a different copywriting framework or just tweak the tone of voice and things like that. So it's not using those pre-written settings. So I don't if you're using this because you need to get this content out, I think Quick Create is the best way to do it. After working with a marketing agency, I was excited to see how our sessions had a lasting impact. They started using the cash flow forecasting tools we developed. Their revenue grew by this much. Obviously, you would want to put real information in there. Media. Let's go in there. Just change the template. Actually, I'm gonna make this insight. I tend to use insights or miscellaneous for most things. Cash flow report. I don't know. This is the problem with financy pictures. You've got to be imaginative. I don't want all of these. Okay. Approve. Industry trends and insights. Oh, this is a poll, LinkedIn poll. The government's budget includes a 500 million investment to create 500 new social homes as part of a broader affordable housing programme. Sounds like progress, right? This is a budget 2024, so that is not going to work. So I'm just going to change the post. So you can choose a poll here. This is interesting. What do you think is the most significant barrier to gender diversity in UK cyber industry? Depends if this is relevant, right? Do you find it challenging to disconnect from work in the summer? There we go. Let's use that one. Approve. I don't need an image with that if it's a poll. Then I've got the next one, common questions. Many believe they can handle their own bookkeeping. Okay, maybe on this one, I want to put our own photo in. And if you've got photos of yourself or your team or your business place or something that shows your expertise, use them. You know, people want to get to know you. So if you can use a photo you've already got, that's brilliant. Hopefully you can see that this is a very simple process. Can Journal help manage and respond to comments? No. So you need to do that in the social media platform itself. There we go. We're getting there. I don't know if you need me to go through and do all of these. I promised to get up to, oh, do you know what? I've got like 2 to go and I'll be up to the 7th of July, which is what I promised I'd do. I mean, it's taken about 10 minutes to get nearly 2 weeks of content created. So once you've done the setup and you saw how quick it was once I was able to get into my LinkedIn account, it was very easy to get started with creating this content. I'll show you how to, I'll also just show you the news hacking tool as well. Small wins go unnoticed. Very expenses were down 15%. Nice. Okay. So sometimes you might want to just use an image from this sort of resource bank. That's a nice win post. High five. Let's put a miscellaneous image with that. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got loads of content approved, ready to go. I'll show you this. So you can see this in the queue. You can also see it in a calendar view. So you can see how much content we've got ready to go out, which is really nice. So we can click on all of those and we can see what we've got, which I love. Final thing to show you then, news hacking, I believe is the last one. Yeah, let's do that. So news hacking, let's go to labs. Let's go to content lab and my news. This is all the latest doom and gloom in the world, but we can choose a finance story if that's relevant, or we could choose a business story. Let's look at business. Because sometimes something comes up in the news and you want to write about it straight away, but you don't know where to start, or you haven't got time to sit down and, you know, think about this. Okay, there was a, that's not really a great example. Forbes contributors publish independent expert analysis and insights. Net worth is easy to measure, but what makes it worthwhile? Right. Let's say we want to write something about this. I can click create post with AI. I can choose whether I want it to be a positive piece of content and is my view on this positive, negative, or neutral? I'm going to say neutral. I just want to share the news. How do I want to talk about it? Casual, conversational, yeah, or professional, or how do I want to talk about it? What length do I want to put in? I might make this a bit longer. What kind of content do I want to put a poll in there, or is it just a caption? And then any other thoughts that I want to share about this. Maybe something about like, is this relevant for bookkeepers? Or what should small business owners be thinking about? and then I can generate it. And it will write me a summary of this news article that I can then share. Then it's written something. And then what I get to do, I can obviously add an image and all of those sort of things, or I can put a photo of myself or whatever I want to do. But I feel like these kind of posts are really helpful once you've read this and thought, yeah, is that what I really want to be sharing on this particular story? This is the kind of stuff that's great to post to your personal account, because this is the stuff where you have an opinion, where you show your expertise because you're informed and interested in what's happening right now. So I would say this is a great opportunity for you as an individual to be sharing your idea. So maybe I want to put a photo with it or something, or I just want to share it as a text post. That's completely up to me. I might even say something like, I read about this in this particular news story, and I might link to it in the comments or something like that. I can then post it now, or I can schedule the post. So maybe I want that to go out on Thursday next week or something. I'll schedule it. One final thing before I do go, I haven't shown you how to make a post just if you have that inspiration. So if you do think, oh my gosh, I must write something about that, you can always click create post, create from scratch, or you can use the AI writer. I'm going to click create from scratch, and I can put my ideas for a post in here. And then if I'm not happy with the content, I can click AI and it can improve it for me. So I've got an option to just write. Still, I can put a cover image with it. I can choose where I'm posting it, and I can post it now, or I can schedule the post. So I've also got that option in there as well. Thanks for sticking with me. Hopefully that was as fast as you hoped. I think you should be up and running with Journal now if you have done all of those things. Thanks for being here, and I really look forward to seeing the content that you're sharing on social media. Okay, any questions, just drop us an email. You've had an email when you've signed up, bookkeepersmarketing.com, and yeah, hit reply and we can answer any questions. Okay, have a great day. Bye.